Thank you for tuning in to Space 55's production of The Hidden Sea by Ashley Naftule. Space 55 is a non-profit theater based in Phoenix, Arizona, which focuses on the production of new and underrepresented works. If you'd be interested in donating to Space 55, you can support our mission to offer innovative theater productions and create opportunities for local writers, actors, technicians, and designers. For more information about Space 55, how to make a donation, and to view a PDF of this show's program, please check out the links in the description. Flash photography is highly encouraged, as our actors don't spook easily. If you must leave your seat during the production, please feel free. No one will know. And lastly, any and all commentary during the show is more than welcome. For the health and well-being of all the artists involved, please fill the chat with reactions, responses, and kind words for our performers. Also, please be advised that the following production has mature themes, including but not limited to mentions of suicide, drugs, and drowning. Without further ado, Space 55 presents The Hidden Sea.
The first time I drowned, I was 7. It was summer, May, I think. Hot, but not the kind of hot where you wear your sweat like a second layer of skin. We were throwing a barbecue in our backyard. A bunch of my dad's work friends were there, and so was my pediatrician, Sam. He was nice. He always used to give me dinosaur-shaped lollipops after our checkups. Watermelon stegosaurus was my favorite. It was the afternoon, and everybody was day drinking. Nobody paid any attention to me. I hung around by the pool. Mom kept calling it our Olympic pool. I used to think that meant Olympic athletes were going to come to our house and swim in our pool. I was so excited, thinking about all the different people who were going to swim in our backyard. People from like Kenya and Thailand and Belarus. International waters right outside our window.
You're digressing.
I'm getting there. I'm setting the scene.
The route doesn't have to be this scenic. Get to the moment that matters, my dear.
Fine. I start pitching a fit. It's too hot out. I'm bored. This party is stupid. Really testing the volume settings on my 7-year-old lungs. My dad comes up to me. He's so drunk, he's swaying like he's on the deck of a ship. Why don't you go swim? He's so drunk, he says it like it's all one word. Why don't you go swim? And when I remind him, I don't know how, he laughs like it's the stupidest thing he's ever heard and picks me up. He hoists me up into the air and says, I don't know what good it will do to live through this again.
We're trying to find a pattern, Sophia. Something you may have missed. Maybe we can find a loose thread to pull.
Maybe this is a mistake.
Give the work a chance.
I've been to doctors, therapists, even tried an exorcism once. Nothing works. Nothing ever works.
I'm not going to tell you to trust me. Trust can't be asked for, only given. Give that gift to yourself. Trust that you'll stay afloat.
I never thought I'd do something like this.
An extraordinary malady calls for extraordinary medicine. Do you want to continue, or do you want me to bring you back?
I need to do this. Want doesn't get a vote. My drunk dad lifts me up. He says, today is a good day to learn. Throws me straight into the deep end of our Olympic pool. The water hits my back like a hard slap and knocks the air out of me.
How did it feel when you were drowning?
Like everything solid in the world had suddenly melted. I'm thrashing and yelling. I can hear my mother screaming from across the yard. My father laughing like he's right next to my ear. The taste of chlorine fills my mouth. My eyes are stinging, and I feel something long and smooth wrap around my leg. The pool cleaner. But in my panic, I think it's a snake. There's a snake in the pool. So I thrash even more wildly to scare it away. I can see people running towards the pool. Dr. Sam, I think, is in the lead. And then all I see is the surface of the water shimmering over me as I sink to the bottom. And then I'm gone.
You blacked out?
Yes.
You sound hesitant.
Oh, things didn't go black the way people describe it when you die, like a TV screen after you switch it off. I saw a blue field, bright blue. I felt nothing. I thought of nothing. All I had been and all there was left now was blue.
And then they brought you back.
You remember being on the grass, spitting out water that tasted salty and bitter. The sun's burning my eyes. I feel so heavy, like the air is pinning me to the ground. I gulp it up in great big inhales. Like if I suck up enough oxygen, it'll inflate me and I'll float back up on my feet. I can feel ants crawling on my legs and over the skin between my fingers, but I don't have the strength to swat them away.
You said the water tasted salty, not chlorinated?
I figured it was because Dr. Sam gave you mouth to mouth, and he must have just eaten something really salty. It made sense to me at the time. I still believed in the tooth fairy and that my parents would be together forever. What 7-year-old doesn't believe in impossible things?
That blue field, did you see it the other times you drowned?
Every single time. I also see it right before I have my blue dreams.
When you saw treatments in the past for your condition, did you tell them about those blue flashes?
No, I didn't think it was important. People see stuff when the lights go out, don't they? Tunnels of light, pitch black nothing, everything went gray. My game over screen was just a little more colorful than everybody else's. You think that's important?
We're sifting right now. What's gold and what's dust will become more clear in time. Did anything else happen that first time? Anything unusual?
After the party that night, I'm lying in bed, about to drift off, and then I feel this weird sensation near my chest, like tiny fingers tickling my ribs. This tickling sensation moves across my chest and up my throat. It feels like some small creature is swimming around inside my body. First, I'm giggling because it feels so funny, but then it dawns on me. Oh my God, there's something inside me. And I feel so nauseous, bile rises up my throat. It takes all my willpower to choke it back down. And that's when I felt it.
What did you feel?
I felt a tiny pair of flippers brush the inside of my throat on the way down.
Yes, yes. Get comfortable, you miserable flying bag of shit. Stay nice and still.
He's playing with you, Nikolai. He knows you're there.
I don't care if he knows. I'm tired of eating raw fish. A gull in my gullet would suit me just fine.
It's bad luck to kill a seagull.
You're thinking of an albatross.
No, my friend, it is all seabirds.
Ah! No! My dinner! You shall not desert me again. Lamentations. Lamentations for Christ and all his fucking angels.
You shouldn't take the Lord's name in vain, Nikolai, and he doesn't care for that language either.
Or what, Hans? He'll somehow smite us even more spectacularly than he already has. Mercy, Father. Stop raining your judgment upon me!
It is good luck to have been shit on by a bird.
Is that so? Don't self now, Lord. Replenish our empty storehouse of luck. Deliver us unto 10,000 more of these stinking benedictions.
You go too far, my friend. We live, yes. Surely that is luck of a good vintage.
If it's such a good vintage, then why am I always so thirsty?
The seagull is a good omen.
Let us hope it pertains to a nice light storm. Our rain catchers are nearly as dry as the Sahara.
It means there's land nearby.
Which way does your omen point, Hans? Is your omen due south, north, all the way up a seagull's ass?
Just because we haven't seen it yet doesn't mean it isn't there.
That is your problem, faithful Hans. You privilege invisible things over something nice and meaty that you could throttle with your hands. Sitting there letting me make a fool of myself while our hopes for a full stomach flies away.
You do not see it so, but we are both in the business of survival. I'm writing a letter to call for aid.
I've seen you write 100 times, brother Hans, and not once has the good Lord granted us his favor. What makes you think a piece of paper will be any different?
He has granted us his favor many times.
You jest. Name one.
We are fortunate to be here. He showed us mercy when our ship went down and took our comrades with it.
He gave our brothers a nice quick death and saved an agonizing one for us. You call that favor?
If you had died on the ship, there would have been no one to untangle me from the ropes on the day our boat sank. And if I had died with our friends, who would have brought you back after you drowned on our first day on the raft? Who would have pulled that fish out of your throat? The Lord let us both live for a reason.
What a fish!
When I breathed life back into you, you spit out a fish, about as long and thick as my little finger.
I don't remember that. But our life now has the texture of a bad dream. It's easy to forget so much of it.
Shall I read it?
Don't distract me, Hans. I think I see something in the water. Fucking hell!
I really think you should hear it.
You would do us both more good by helping me catch dinner instead of wasting your time writing a message that no one will ever read.
Someone will find our message, Nikolai. Isn't there something you want to tell them?
No. If they want to hear what I have to say, they can come and find me.
Do you want me to leave a message for your family? What about your father? Isn't he still alive?
Yes, he is. The vile goat. How about this? Tell him that his son lives on the raft and plans to grow fat on fish cuts for many a year. Tell him that I will pray every night that the next heart disease he picks up eats his brain and makes his cock fall off.
Nikolai?
Bah! He's too busy laughing at my misfortune to notice the insults. Write it or don't, Hans. It doesn't matter. Nobody's ever going to read it, so why lie?
Lord, hear our prayer. We are hungry. We are salty. We are afraid. Whatever sins we may have done, we are very sorry for them. Especially Nikolai.
Leave me out of it. I like my sins. The memory of them keeps me warm at night.
Forgive him for that, too.
What are you waiting for, Hans? Throw the bloody thing already.
I heard a voice out there, in the water.
Is it one of our men?
No, it sounded like a woman.
A woman? Out there?
It's what I heard.
And what did this woman say?
It sounded like she was singing.
I thought I would be the one to start imagining woman first.
I heard something, Nikolai.
It was probably that damn call. I swear to you, Hans, it's laughing at us. The noise it makes, it's like a laughing woman. I hope your God listens as closely to your prayers as you listen to nothing.
I've never bottled a prayer before. Maybe it'll be different this time.
Ah! Yes! What a beauty. Thank you, bird shit. Perhaps our luck has changed for the better, Hans. Hans?
Do you want her?
How do you know it's a her?
I don't really. I see myself in her.
You see yourself in a fish?
I relate to her situation.
Elaborate on that.
No.
Not trying to be pushy. It's just, I've met people who see themselves in cats and dogs and birds. It's not often I meet someone who sees themselves in a fish. Isn't there a word for that? Seeing yourself in animals?
It's hard to anthropomorphize a fish. I get it.
Thank you. That's it. Anthropomorphize.
You didn't answer my question.
Oh, I know. I was deflecting because I didn't understand your question.
Oh, what's to understand? I'm asking if you want the fish.
Look, Miss
Sophia.
Sophia, I'm not a pawn shop. I don't just buy strange fish off the street.
She didn't swim off the back of a truck, if that's what you're implying.
I get people coming in here all the time trying to sell me animals. I had a tweaker come in last week with a raccoon. A raccoon as fat as a Christmas ham. Tried to pawn it off on me for $50.
I don't want anything for her. I just don't want her.
You don't want the fish you see yourself in?
I don't have enough room in my bowl for me and her.
I've never seen a fish like this. She's like a liquid light projection covered in scales. Not even rainbow fish are this brightly colored. Where did you get her?
I won her at the state fair.
You won this LSD fish at the fair?
Yes, I won her at the ring toss.
Never played it myself. I only go to the fair to eat the most ridiculous fried food I can find. Last year, I had a fried ice cream cone. Can you believe it? Second worst thing I've ever put in my body.
You're deflecting again.
No, I'm just giving you more time to come up with the rest of your story. You're doing good so far. State fair, ring toss. What's next?
Well, I won the fish and
Don't they only give out goldfish at the state fair? I didn't think they'd be handing out something this exotic.
that's what I thought. You can imagine my surprise when they didn't give me a goldfish.
Why would I, when you've already done such a great job imagining it yourself?
God, you don't have to be such an asshole about this. Just say you don't want the fish.
Wait, I'm sorry. Really wasn't trying to offend. I was aiming for banter, and I think I overshot into badgering. I, uh, I'm not really good at talking to people. Please, it's been a very boring day, and this has been the most interesting thing to happen here in months.
More interesting than someone trying to pawn a ham-sized raccoon?
It happens more often than you'd think. I don't care where the fish came from. You could have heisted it from SeaWorld for all I care.
So you'll take her.
I've got a saltwater tank at home. She'll fit right in.
Thank you.
Chance.
Chance. Like a snowball's chance?
Or like the ABBA song.
Don't know it.
You don't know Take a Chance on Me?
There's a lot I don't know, and I'm at peace with it.
I've got a good feeling about today, Hans. I'm telling you, I will catch a fish as fat as my mother-in-law.
I didn't know you were married.
Only in my dreams, Hans. But she is quite the darling, my dream wife. And the mother is big as a firehouse.
I bet she's quite lithesome, my siren.
You're who?
Her. Out there. The voice of the waters.
Listen, my sweet sunburned Hans. I wish there was a woman out there. Every day that passes here, I feel my cock getting more and more dry. I'll be pissing dust in a week.
Is that what you call it? What you do at night when you think I'm sleeping? Pissing dust.
Ha! By St. Peter's foreskin! A fish! A fish!
I don't know what's worse, that you insist on blaspheming so casually, or that I'm growing accustomed to it.
Quit grumbling like grandmother and help me. Glorious, wriggling bounty. Quick ons! Hit it with your shoe before it rolls back into the sea. Have you ever seen a fish as beautiful as this? It almost feels like a crime to eat it.
She's still singing.
Who? Your late, whatever. What, pray tell, is she singing?
She's singing, take a chance on me. Take a chance, take a chance.
That's all? That's hardly a song.
Yes, and in such a strange accent.
Are you sure she's not saying, I'm so wet, will no fisherman come pierce me with this big harpoon?
For the love of St. James, is that all you ever think about?
I think about a great many things, tender Hans, but I tend to think most about the things I can't have. Ah, amazing, isn't it, Hans? Even the meat of these things glows.
How far do you think our bottle has travelled?
Who knows? As violent as this sea has been, it could be halfway to Australia by now.
The gull hasn't been by in a couple of days.
Someone with better luck than I must have brained the blasted thing.
Or the land has slipped out of reach.
What's the matter, Hans? Are you losing faith?
I have plenty of faith, Nikolai. It's my patience that's wearing thin.
I think I stopped breathing again. I was in the blue for too long.
Honey, are you sure a CPAP machine won't do the trick?
Tried, Vonda. Worked for a few weeks, but then I had a blue dream and I ended up filling the CPAP with salt water and a shark-nosed goby.
Shark-nosed goby?
They're long, like sardines, but smaller and with yellow and blue stripes. This one was as long as my pinky. I'll send you a picture later. Poor thing didn't last long in the CPAP.
Was there anything different about this blue dream?
I was drowning and I woke up with a sheet soaked in salt water, as always. But I think I was singing at one point. I don't remember the song.
And what about stowaways?
Nothing came back with me out of the blue.
That's good.
When can I see you again? I think you need to put me under. That really seemed to help.
Come by Friday after I close up the shop. I've been meaning to ask you, did you really see an exorcist?
Hand to God. Tied me to the bed, shouted at me in Latin, sprinkling holy water. The works.
Did anything come out?
Sand mostly. Sand and a clownfish. The priest thought the clownfish was the demon inside me. Begone, Satan! I've never seen a man flush a toilet with such righteousness. Vonda, I met someone the other day. You know the pet shop on 19th Ave?
The one in between the boxing gym and the drive-through liquor store?
They work there. Chance, named after an ABBA song. They were, I don't know. They seemed interested.
And what about you? Are you interested?
I've found a lot of people interesting, Vonda. That's never been the problem.
It's good that you're getting out.
I'm not a shut-in, Vonda. I go to your shop. I go to the store.
Errands don't count. My shop, your healing, doesn't count.
I know. It's just, I like floating along the surface, Vonda. But everyone else wants to dive. They always want explanations. Who are you? What do you do? What are your dreams? Where do you see this relationship going? Why do you smell like the sea? Do you hear those seagulls too? Why are you crying? I can't do it.
But you went to the pet shop.
I'm tired of them dying.
You've been coughing up stowaways for years. What was different this time?
This fish came back with me from the blue dream. It was radiant, Vonda. When I saw it shimmering in my bathroom sink, this feeling came over me. I felt like letting something this lovely and fragile die. It almost felt like it'd be a crime, like those myths about a god having a sacred animal and they punish someone for killing it.
Like Artemis and her sacred deer.
Right, exactly.
So you felt like you had to do this.
She seemed so helpless, swimming in circles in my sink. I wanted to help.
Maybe you felt that by saving the fish, you'd be saving yourself. You alleviate this being's suffering, and perhaps the universe would return the favor.
It's funny you say that. I told Chance that I saw myself in her.
Did you tell them where it came from?
No. How could I?
Are you going to see them again?
That depends. Do you think a pet shop would be interested in a starfish?
She came to see me last night.
Not this again, Hans, please.
You should have seen her, Nikolai. She was so beautiful. She's always beautiful.
I would like to see her, but she only comes to see you when I'm asleep.
Teeth like pearls, lips as red as strawberries. Her hair shimmers like polished glass.
This is my fault. I indulged you for too long. But I was bored, how could I not?
I tell you, Nikolai, every time I see her, my soul wants to sing.
And what does your soul want to sing? Please, I would most dearly love to hear, clever Hans, what your affection sounds like.
No, I shall not. The time is not right.
We have nothing to do. Nothing. What else do you have to do but sing?
I was being metaphorical, Nikolai. And besides, I don't feel like it.
Ah, I see how that is, Hans. You would sing for this strange sea woman, who you'd known for mere days, when you would not sing for your dear friend, your partner, your accomplice on the sea of life, Nikolai?
I can only sing for those that I love.
Is that a metaphor?
No,
Then you confirm my original points.
I do not love you the way I love God, or a heavenly woman of the waves, it is true. That does not mean I do not love you, brother Nikolai.
Well, I will sing for you, brother Hans, and for your sultaceous trumpet, and for gold, and that miserable shitting seagull. May it choke on a sardine. Because I am not a timid man who fucks around with metaphors.
How dare you? I am not.
Black is the color of my true love's hair, her face so soft and wondrous fair, the purest eyes and the strongest hands. I love the ground on where she stands. I love the ground on where she stands. Or should I say swims? Swims above. No, I have it. I love the waves where she floats.
Stop it, Nikolai.
Black is the color of my true love's hair. Or is it blue like water? Green like seaweed? What is it other than shiny? Of my true love's hair, of my true love's hair. Oh, I love my lover, And where she goes, yes, I love the ground. No, waves where she floats.
You make such cheap sport out of everything.
And I still hope that the time will come when she and I will be as one. When she and I will be as one. Yes, yes, I thank you. My brilliance would not be possible without your awe.
That wasn't me. I did not applaud you.
Then it must have been the goal. Cheers to you, Mr. Goal. Though I despise you with every torture of my fiber being, just know that I appreciate your good taste.
I should be mad at you for calling me a coward, but you have made my lady happy, and for that I thank you, Nikolai.
And now, in turn, you mock me? Just admit that you applauded my song instead of saying it was your lady. Your happy lady. Does your lady not have a tongue? Let her come and tell me how happy she is.
She's shy, Nikolai. You have to give her time. You'll see her soon enough.
I see plenty, smitten Hans. I see the rotting wood we sleep on. I see the silver flashes of fish just out of reach. And I see our rainwater drying up. I see that shark fin circling us every couple of days now.
He's harmless. He's her pet. She said they're like dogs. You just have to train them right.
How the hell does she know what a dog is, Hans? Do you see a lot of bitches pedaling by?
She doesn't like that kind of language, Nikolai.
Just like God. Must all your invisible friends be so brutish? And how, sweet Hans, does she speak in the first place? Why would she need to speak? Who taught her?
None of that is important. She just is.
I told you what I see. You know what I don't see, old friend? Mermaids. I have never in my life seen a mermaid, and neither of you.
The second time I drowned, I was 15. My mom and I were on vacation in San Carlos. This was about a year after the divorce. Things were weird between us. I got caught smoking weed with some seniors behind the gym a week before our trip. Mom was livid. Can't even imagine how pissed she would have been if she found out I had already graduated to harder stuff than that. Lucky me, the tickets were non-refundable. I met a girl on the beach, Hannah. She was cute, really cute. Cute in the same way I found boys to be cute. I hadn't experienced that before. My mom was reading some paperback, totally zoning out. So Hannah and I were able to sneak away and have some beers with an older boy she was with. He gave us some acid. I didn't feel like doing it, but I didn't want her to think I was lame. So I put it under my tongue and let it dissolve. And soon I felt the rest of me dissolve. I felt like I was turning into pure liquid. I wanted Hannah to swim inside my new body, an Olympic swimming pool for one. But she had gone off with her sketchy guy in the middle of my trip, so I went out into the water. I felt like I was the water, that I had become this vast, cool expanse. So I kept going deeper into the blue until there was no more ground under me. The worst thing about drowning is that up and down lose all meaning. You never think about where the sky is. It's always where it should be. You can count on gravity. It's like breathing. You don't need to do anything for it to happen. And when those automatic things, reality's factory defaults, malfunction, it's horrifying. I can remember just spinning around underwater, everything pulsating with light, having no idea where the surface was. It wasn't long before I saw the blue screen again.
Who fished you out of the water?
My mom. She never found out I was on acid. Couldn't hide the taste of beer in my mouth, though. She waited a few weeks before grounding me for it, after the shock of having a second near-death experience wore off.
When you came back, did you feel or see or hear anything unusual?
I remember waking up, my mom pressing my ribs like I was bellows, and everything seemed okay. No tickling in my chest, no stowaways. I didn't have any blue dreams for about 10 months after that. Later, much later, I'd have these dreams where I'd relive drowning in San Carlos. And sometimes during these dreams, right before I start drowning, I hear a man's voice singing way off in the distance, singing some kind of shanty. And in the dreams, I keep moving forward so I can hear him better. And that's when I plunge underwater.
You don't remember hearing the singing on the day it happened?
No, I don't. But maybe I couldn't hear it because of the acid? I don't know why, but I feel like my memories are more honest when they come back to me in dreams.
Do you feel like the person you are in the blue dreams is more real than who you are right now?
Of course she is. She's the one who's dying almost every night. What can be more real than that? How's she doing? My acid fish.
Great. Still going strong. She ate a couple of my guys.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
It's fine. They're fish. It's what they do.
Do you think you could take this one too?
It's a big tank. I think I can make it work.
Your tank. Does it have a castle in it? A treasure chest?
No, none of those. No man in a diving suit either. Just plain old rocks and plant life. And that starfish she brought last time.
If I ever had a fish tank, I'd like there to be a castle in it. And maybe like a sunken ship. I heard your song.
Did you like it?
Not really. It's not bad. It's just so cheerful. It's not really my thing.
ABBA can be an acquired taste. The funny thing is, I'm pretty sure they were miserable in real life. Like, you have those four beautiful people married to each other, making music that sounds like roller skates and sunshine, and they just can't wait to get away from each other. I love music like that. Happy music made by sad people. I'm intrigued by those layers.
I've had my fill of hidden depths. I think the surface level is underrated. More things should say what they mean.
Yeah, you're right. You want to go get a coffee sometime?
What?
You said people should say what they mean. So this is me, surface level.
You're asking me on a date?
A coffee date, which could lead to a date or nothing. Coffee could just be coffee. Cards on the table. I think you're really interesting and pretty and mysterious. All these clandestine fish. I'd like to get to know you better.
First time I came in here, I said I didn't have any room in my life for fish. What makes you think I have room for you?
Is that a no?
Ask me again next time I'm here.
Next time. You've got another fish coming in?
There's always another fish.
You're such a strange man. All you ever want to do is play with my hair.
Such beautiful hair. Who wouldn't want to lose themselves in your tangles, Porcelina? To be forever tucked behind your ear, inextricable like a ship caught in a field of seaweed.
You must admit it's a strange compliment to say that a woman's hair is like the Sargasso Sea.
I would rather be marooned in here than on this raft.
You can, anytime you want. All you have to do is leave with me.
You know I can't. Not yet.
That's all right. There is no time beneath the sea. I ebb, I flow, I wait for you, my tender hairdresser.
Not too tender, I hope.
Just the right amount, my sweet sailor. You were a handsome boy, weren't you, Hans?
My mother said I was, when she forgot herself. She was stingy with her affection.
Such an odd thing to say, she forgot herself, as though she were car keys that she misplaced somewhere.
How do you know about that? Car keys? Porcelina, how do you know what cars are?
You shouldn't ask so many questions, my sweet sailor. You'll ruin it.
Tell me about home.
Again? But I tell you every night. Surely you must be bored by now.
There is nothing about you that bores me, my lady.
What I love most about my home is the music, Hans. There is music everywhere beneath the sea.
I keep forgetting to tell Nikolai that. He loves music, you know. He sings sometimes.
I hear him. He has a lovely voice. Such a wonderful song. Black is the color of my true love's hair.
Of my true love's hair.
You have such a sweet voice, my love. You should serenade me more often.
Nikolai is the singer, Porcelina. God gave him the gift. Should we wake him? He would so like to meet you.
Not yet. This is our time together. Forgive me for my greed, love. I don't want to share you.
Tell me about the music. Tell me what I'll hear down there after you give me gills of my own.
Our city is built out of coral chimes. Every time a current passes through, it unleashes a different symphony of chimes and tones. We have schools of harpfish that circle our homes. You can tickle the scales on their bodies to produce the most wonderful harmonies. And the conch quartets, you haven't truly lived, my pet, until you've watched the octopi and man-o-wars dance to the conch quartets.
I can't wait to see it.
You will.
Will I have hair like yours when I lose my legs? Will it hurt, turning them into a fish's tail?
You shouldn't, sailor. You'll ruin it.
Hey, so real random question here, but would you know somebody who'd be interested in a jellyfish?
A jellyfish? You're serious?
Yeah, a live jellyfish about as wide as a medium pizza.
I can't take it.
I wasn't asking that, but maybe you know, like a collector or something.
How the hell did you get a jellyfish?
It just came up.
You really don't need to try this hard. Your mystique level is already off the charts.
I wasn't much of an overachiever as a kid. Late bloomer, I guess.
Well, if this is a real jellyfish we're talking about.
Oh, it is very real. Very real.
I know a guy who likes to collect weird stuff, and a jellyfish on the mainland would certainly qualify as weird. I'll text you his number.
Thank you, Chance.
Always happy to help my favorite non-customer.
Am I a non-customer?
Name one thing you've bought at the store.
You got me. I can't.
Tell you the truth, it's why I felt okay asking you out. It would have been too weird if you were like an actual customer.
It was still kind of weird.
I don't want to be presumptuous, but I'm getting the impression that you've got a high threshold for weird.
There's a jellyfish in my apartment. My threshold is Empire State High.
Did I tell you about the dream I had last night? Oh god, that's so good.
I thought you said you didn't remember your dreams.
I seldom remember the bad ones. The good ones, though, stick like caramel in my teeth.
Oh, don't talk about food we can't eat, Nikolai. Just the thought of another day without candy makes me want to scream.
Forgive me my lapse, sour horns.
Your dream doesn't involve food, does it?
No, not at all.
Then tell me.
So long as you promise not to fall asleep in the middle of it.
I'm resting my head, Nikolai. I would not disrespect you so.
No, I would deserve it, wouldn't I? I have truly been the sour one lately.
It's fine. She's sweet enough for the both of us.
No! We're not going to talk about your living dream right now. We're talking about my sleeping one, yes?
Please, brother, narrate.
In my dreams, I am swimming in clear, warm water. There are white rocks beneath me, green plains twisting in the water like laundry in the wind. And a starfish the size of a bison. I wriggle through the water and I feel a solidity, some invisible barrier in my way. I circle around at ease in the water, feeling no desire to come off air. There are fish nearby, long ones, like sardines, but with colorful stripes on the side. They are swimming close to me and they seem to be as big as me. And that's when the truth of it hits me. I must be a fish. I am a fish inside some kind of aquarium. I swim close to the barrier, trying to see through this wall holding me in, and I see what looks like a bedroom. And on the wall there's a picture of a mermaid sitting on the beach, brushing her hair. And it made me think of you. Ah, so this is the salty apple of my Han's eye. And as I look at this painting, a chateau looms over me, and I see a human face descend onto my level. A great, big, blinking gray eye watching me with keen interest. It's so close to me that I cannot tell if it's a man or woman gazing upon me. The eye is all-encompassing. You know what I felt at that moment, Hans? Realizing that I was confined, under observation, unable to swim towards any semblance of freedom.
What did you feel, Nikolai?
I felt so at peace, so free, knowing there is an outside world that I had no hope of reaching, that would certainly kill me if I did reach the confines of my sunken room. I could surrender myself to this world and live happily. The exact opposite of our present situation in every way.
You are wrong, my friend. God and Porcelina watch us both.
Ah, it was so nice to be the pet of a god who follows a strict feeding schedule for a change.
Did you see more of your aquarium? Was there a treasure chest or a castle?
No, just rocks and plants. Nothing fancy.
A pity. If I had a tank, I would line its floors with a veritable Atlantis of ruins.
Is that where she's from? Your lady?
I thought you didn't want to talk about her.
The question occurred to me in the moment.
No, she's not from Atlantis.
You still believe in the baby Jesus and all that?
Of course I do. Why would you ask me such a thing?
Last time I read the good book, which I had, I'm sure that will shock you. There are no mermaids in it.
Many are the splendors of God's creation.
I don't know. I just think if I were to create something as wondrous as a half-woman, half-fish, I tell the people writing my memoir to mention it.
Mysterious ways, Nikolai.
Ah, that is, has always been, and will always be, an unsatisfying answer.
When was the last time you were satisfied about anything?
Last night, for about 5 minutes while you were asleep, when I was thinking about this barmaid I know back in Minsk, and feel some dust.
Ugh, disgusting. I'm going to try and sleep now, brother Nikolai. You try to not think about that barmaid, please. And if you do, try thinking in the direction of the water.
I always do. I'm a cretin by the word, never by the deed.
Should I ever cross paths with any ladies from Minsk, I'll ask them if that's true.
You'll spend the rest of your life asking, friend Hans. There are no ladies in Minsk. God, how I miss it. Tell me about your dreams, Hans. Do you dream about home? Do you think about what you'll do when we are rescued?
You said we would die here.
A quenched thirst does wonders for a part soul.
I used to dream about our deliverance. Every night I'd dream about the rolling hills of home. I'd dream about sticking my fingers in the dirt so ants could bite my skin, just so I could feel that unpleasant sensation again. Grass stains on my clothes, pebbles in my shoes, scraped knees. I never imagined I could feel nostalgia for so many inconveniences until I couldn't have them anymore. But ever since I heard Porcelina sing, my dreams turned blue. I dream about the infinite swell beneath us, and I don't see the sense in dreaming about anything else. You always told me to put my hands on something I can see, Nikolai. What else is there to see but this?
This could be your life all the time.
So strange to think of a life without ground, to always be above it, floating.
We do lie down. The ground isn't foreign to us. It's true that we spend most of our time bobbing and floating, but there are moments where we recline on the ocean floor and watch the dolphins capering over our heads.
When I think of Nikolai and I returning to dry land, it fills me with dread now, that I would be so far away from you.
All you have to do is say yes.
I won't leave him alone. God put me on this raft to watch over my brother in spirit.
Then you'll have to convince him to come with us. There are others like me who will love him as ardently as I love you.
Nikolai takes nothing on faith, love. He doesn't believe in salvation from above. I don't know how to convince them it exists below.
You must persuade him, my pet, and soon.
You speak so urgently, Porcelina, and yet you tell me that there is no time beneath the sea.
Beneath, no, but above, my cherished one, time is pitiless. Look at your chest. Look at how your flesh rolls back like the tides. Look at how small your raft has become. How much longer can you live this way before a seagull ferries your soul away into the black?
It is true that I feel fainter now than I have before. I feel like a drawing that's being slowly erased.
Time is like the waves. It wears everything down. You must be like the waves, firm but insistent. Wear down his resistance until he understands that his future is here, in the blue. And then you and I will be as one.
Where are you now?
I am in bed, in the blue.
Are you drowning?
No, I'm floating. My lungs are clear. So long as I stay in this bed, I will be fine.
And if you fall into the water, what will you say to make me pull you out?
Mermaid.
Good. Now, tell me about that third time.
You've asked me this before. I remember.
After your jellyfish experience, I think it's relevant we go over this again. Maybe something new will come to the surface.
I don't know if I want to.
Do you want to come back?
No, but can I float? Just for a little bit. We always get right to it. I just want to be here in the blue. It's so peaceful.
Okay, hon. I'll let you float for a few minutes. If you need me, you know what to say.
Vonda,
What is it, Sophia?
do you believe in past lives?
Why are you asking me that now?
Most of the time, when I have my blue dreams, I'm in the water. Sometimes I dream I'm on a raft. These are new. It started a few weeks ago. I dream I was on a raft, and I smell horrible, and I'm covered in fish guts, and I'm masturbating in the middle of the night, quietly, so I don't wake up the man next to me who smells just as bad.
And you think this could be more than a dream?
They're more vivid. I can feel the splinters of wood in my fingers, the hunger eating my insides.
Some dreams are more vivid than others, darling.
Do you think it's possible to remember a life before this one?
I think there's too many lives to remember. My teacher once told me that all life in the universe is like a vast sea, a single giant mass of energy, and all intelligent life is just ripples in that pool. Past, present, and future all churning alongside each other at once. You, me, your friend at the pet shop, we're just waves that rise up for a blink and then crash back into the totality we sprang from. Maybe you remember being on a raft. Perhaps tomorrow you'll remember being the fish whose guts you were covered in. Maybe you'll remember being me as a child, and I'll remember you sitting in my store asking me all about this. I have people who come in here every day asking me if I can help them remember being Julius Caesar or Marilyn Monroe. What's the point? We were all Caesar at some point. It's no big deal. Worry about the wave you're in now, darling.
You said it's hard to know what's dust and what's gold. I feel like there's gold here.
Let's suppose for a moment that these dreams aren't the memories of another life, are interrupting your dreams like a radio signal, disrupting a broadcast. How would this knowledge help you?
You're the mystic. You tell me.
Sometimes when I meditate, my brain will throw up all kinds of distractions. Did I pay the water bill? Did I water my plants? Is that ache in my knee serious? What's the name of that song I heard at the coffee shop this morning? Can I pull off purple lipstick? And on and on. The closer I get to achieving a truly clear state of mind, the more shit my monkey mind throws at me.
You think this is some kind of trick I'm playing on myself?
I think life is full of mysteries, and you should choose the ones you want to solve wisely.
Well, if I had to pick one, the ocean inside me would take precedence.
Are you ready to tell me about the third time?
I don't remember the third time. I was 22 when it happened. That's what the hospital told me. I fell asleep in a bathtub in my dorm. My roommate Cheryl found me just in time.
And then?
The doctor said Cheryl called the paramedics because I was throwing up weird stuff, pebbles and seashells, tiny ones. They pumped my stomach. They found stuff, diet pills, vodka, dead sand dollar the size of a peppermint patty.
The diet pills and vodka,
I don't know. Maybe if it was that, if it was a suicide attempt. I don't remember doing it. I don't. Even the dreams won't show me that. All I remember is waking up at the institution months later, My mom looked so old, so worn down by the stress that I didn't recognize her at first. She told me they gave me ECT. The electroshock therapy burned holes in my memory, she said. I just pictured a doctor stubbing a cigarette out on my brain over and over again, the way my mom used to when she smoked outside at restaurants and put her smokes out on the paper napkins.
So all you know about that time is what they told you.
I remember my doctor. Cochlear was his name. You think a guy named after a part of the ear would be good at listening, but he just waved off everything I said. I told him all about my dreams. He said I had the worst case of pica he'd ever seen.
Pica?
The disorder where you eat inanimate objects, rocks, heat chips, toys. He really sold my mom on that diagnosis. Dr. Cochlear said all my stories about coughing up fish was textbook schizophrenia. Pike and schizophrenia apparently go together like peanut butter and jelly. He burnt so many holes in me with the drugs and ECT that I didn't have the strength to poke holes in his theory. Like, where did I get all the seashells I'm throwing up when I don't live by the sea? How can I be throwing up seawater all the time, but not be poisoned by it? At least the exorcist didn't insult my intelligence by telling me I was hallucinating the damn eels crawling out of my mouth.
Do you ever have dreams about your time in the institution?
Yes, sometimes I'll have dreams from that time, but my memory's all fuzzy. I'm drowning, but the sea is all static. Feels like the water is electric, blinding, hard to look at.
The night the jellyfish came out, did you have one of those electric dreams?
Yes. Do you think they're connected in some way?
What I think is that we're making real progress here, don't you?
Can I go back to floating again? Just for a little while longer. I know you probably want to go home, but
It's okay. I have my tea. There's no rush for tonight. Float. And if you see something interesting or remember something new, tell me.
it's so nice here. It'd be better without these seagulls, though. Miserable flying bags of shit.
We're going to die.
No, you're not.
How can you be so sure?
Because I have faith.
You have faith.
You have been a bad influence on me, Hans. Your optimism is as stubborn as herpes.
No, I was wrong. We are going to die on this raft.
Which is why we need to get off of it.
Yes, exactly.
We just have to wait for our path to cross a plane or ship, and we'll be saved.
What plane? What ship?
What do you mean? There are thousands of planes and ships. It's only a matter of time before we come across one. Maybe one of them has stumbled upon your bottle as we speak.
We are running out of food and water. Every day the sea eats another piece of our raft. We haven't even seen a mirage of one of your 1,000 planes and ships. She can help us, Nikolai.
Oh God, save me from this nonsense.
Nikolai, listen to her song. Take a chance. Take a chance.
In the wheel, I'll take a chance. I'll take my chances with the planes and ships. Ah!
Nikolai! Porcelina, help us. Help Nikolai. Please, I'll go with you, I promise. Just help Nikolai. Here, I'm right here. Take me instead. I taste better than him. I've been baptized. I knew you'd be too stubborn to drown.
I drank so much salt water once that you could float a boat inside my stomach.
If the sea keeps swallowing up our raft, we may have to.
Did you hear something? I could have sworn I heard something out there. A horn of some kind.
It was poor Selena. She was calling her pet home.
Such a good doggy. To come when his master calls. Does he bring her newspapers and a pair of fish slippers in the morning? I wonder.
You make jokes. Even seconds after being plucked from the jaws of the sea. Have you no gratitude?
You so. It must have chipped off and sunk to the bottom of the sea, along with the rest of our rafts.
The pet shop was my dad's. When he passed, he left the business to me. And, well, to be honest, I didn't have much else going on in my life at the time, so I thought, what the hell?
It wasn't your burning passion to be in the pet business.
No. Kept me out of trouble, though.
What kind of trouble?
I was in recovery. Am in recovery.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's good. I like getting the baggage out of the way early. You know, hi, how are you doing? I smoked a lot of meth in my 20s. I went into huge credit card debt to pay off the dental implants I got in Tijuana to replace my fucked teeth. What's your damage?
I was a kleptomaniac until I turned 30. I got electroshock therapy in my 20s, so I don't remember a lot of my 20s. I have an inexplicable condition where I cough up seawater and marine life in my sleep. One of these is false, and the other two are true.
I won't guess which. I don't want to ruin your secretive vibe.
Do you like it? Running a pet shop.
I like the animals. It pays my bills. I'm my own boss, which is nice.
That does sound nice.
Thanks, by the way,
For what?
for not asking me what I'm going to do next. Anytime I tell somebody I own a pet shop, they're like, oh, that's nice. What are you going to do when it's over? Like it's some phase I'm going through and not potentially the rest of my working life.
Is that what you want for yourself? No judgment. I'm just curious.
I had to go to the hospital once because I punched a hole through a car window to steal a stereo that was worth $30, and the glass slashed my arms to ribbons. I did enough dumb shit like that in my life that my greatest ambition became staying alive and not doing anything else like that ever again. That's all I want, to stay on an even keel.
Keeping your head above water. I know the feeling.
I feel like I'm talking about myself way too much. What about you? What do you do when you're not smuggling exotic fish?
Nothing. Job wise, I mean. My parents died when I was 27 and left me a trust. It's my life raft.
Jesus, I'm sorry.
Now it's my turn to say thanks. Most people, when I tell them I don't have to work, all they say is, must be nice. Even after I tell them it's because my family is dead, must be nice, they say.
I can't even imagine. They both died in the same year?
Yeah, they drowned. Are you sure?
when I thought I was about to be killed by your shark.
Hans, you must believe me. He's normally so gentle.
Doesn't matter, my sweet. When I saw the shark lunging at me, all I could think about was how I would never see you again, never dive into the pools in your eyes, never smell your sweet fragrance, never run my hands through your hair, finer than the threads on an angel's robe. That's when I knew.
That's when you knew what?
You shouldn't ask so many questions, my lady. You'll ruin it.
The bathtub's full of salt water. We can put him in there.
He's in the closet right now?
Yes, Vonda. Thank you so much for helping me with this.
This is, I must confess, quite outside my area of expertise.
I didn't know who else to call.
Well, let's put a pin in that for now. First things first, open the door, my dear. Get in there, you filthy calamari! The migration was a success.
Ooh, I could use a drink. You want a drink?
I just wrestled with an octopus. What do you think?
You're pretty handy with a joust.
My ex-husband used to work at the Renaissance Fair. 10 years of marriage. You pick up a few things.
10 years. I can't imagine. I haven't had a relationship that lasted 10 months.
How many dates has it been with your pet shop toy?
5.
That's good, yes.
Yes, but I liked Chance, but sometimes I worry they're too accepting. Who hears I have a jellyfish in my apartment? No explanation, and doesn't run for the hills.
You'd rather they have nothing to do with you?
I mean, wouldn't that be a sane response? And what happens when I tell them, oh, by the way, I've been regurgitating the ocean since I was 7 years old. Sometimes octopuses crawl out of my mouth. One time I wept a teardrop that was actually a pearl. And they don't leave. They just say, sure, that seems fine, and rolls with it. What kind of freak would be okay living with this?
My dear, you realize that by that logic, you'll always be alone if you disqualify anyone who is willing to accept your unique relationship with the sea.
I don't want to drown in my sleep and have somebody wake up with their arms around my bloated corpse.
Anyone can die in their sleep at any time, darling.
Yeah, but not everyone has to worry that they'll drown their partner in their sleep too, or that they'll accidentally hiccup a great white or school of piranha and wake up to a bloody breakfast in bed. Do you think it could escape? I saw a video where an octopus pushed its entire body through a hole in the side of a ship that was the size of a nickel.
If he gets out, we'll deal with it. How are you feeling?
It was so awful. I woke up and it was rolling down my chest, all slimy and wriggling, and had like a piece of debris or something wrapped up in its tentacles. It was so heavy, I could barely breathe. Oh my God! What is it doing?
Hand me my joust. Another bottle? We haven't even finished the first.
It's a special occasion. What's the first thing?
Pardon?
First time I was in here, when we were talking about the fair, you said that fried ice cream cone was the second worst thing you put in your body. What was the first?
Oh, right. That probably sounded really flirty, huh? You'll probably be disappointed.
Cough it up.
I ate a chunk of wasabi as big as a golf ball once. all in one bite.
Like as a dare?
I was 7. We were at a sushi place and I had no idea what it was. It looked cool and the adults were eating it, so I dived right in. I swear I could feel my tears evaporating as they ran down my face. It was so goddamn hot.
Ugh, I can never eat sushi. Something about eating raw fish gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Speaking of eating, want to go grab some takeout and watch some X-Files at my place?
Yeah, that sounds good. It doesn't bother you, does it? Always going to your place and not mine?
Bother? No. I get curious sometimes, but your space is your space. I figure when the time is right.
Ugh, what if the time is never right?
What do you mean?
I mean, I like to sleep alone. I've always slept alone. And I know some nights when I'm getting out of bed and I'm getting dressed, I can tell you want me to stay. You don't say it, but I can see it on your face.
Why lie? It would be nice.
I just, I can't right now, or maybe ever. It's very hard for me to explain this.
You don't have to.
Doesn't your patience ever run thin?
I don't have much faith in the world or in the existence of gods or anything like that. I can only put my faith in the people I care about. I have faith that eventually you'll feel comfortable enough to invite me into your home, and that one day I'll wake up in the morning and you'll be next to me.
And if there's no eventually,
My parents didn't name me guarantee, so I'm not about to ask for one.
Hans, I had the most wonderful dream again. The one about the virgin woman with the strawberries.
hello?
Jesus, Mother of Christ!
Good guess, but my name's actually Sophia.
Sweet God, I don't believe it. You're real. You're actually real.
Why wouldn't I be? You're in my blue dream. Of course I'm real.
No, you are mistaken. I just woke up from my dream. Unless I am still dreaming. Oh, bother. No, I'm awake. I still smell like shit. I always smell good in dreams.
That's a good trick. I'll have to remember that the next time I lucid dream.
You must be Porcelina, yes? He's mermaid?
Sorry, buddy. Mermaids don't have legs.
Mermaid magic. You made those legs to confuse me.
Why would I do that?
How the hell should I know? I'm not the one trying to bedevil me.
This is weird. I'm not used to talking to crazy men in my dreams.
If I am crazy, it's because I've been living on this accursed raft for an unfathomable number of days with my insane friend who is in love with a fish woman.
Does she not love him back? Is that why he's insane?
No, he's imagining an impossible relationship makes him insane. If he were unrequited, that would be even more insane.
That's true. But some folks like to live their lives at a higher difficulty setting.
I don't understand what that means.
It's not important.
So you're really not a mermaid?
Nope. I'm just an American shut-in staring 40 in the face who doesn't have her shit together. We're not exactly the stuff of myth.
I've had my fill of myths.
Sophia.
I am Nikolai. This sleeping bomb is Hans.
Wait. Hans and Nikolai? I got your bottle!
You what?
Your bottle! It floated through me like so many things do. You're still on the raft, huh?
My God, you got our message. Did you send for help?
No. I'm sorry. I thought you were already dead. The note looked really old.
You did nothing. You received our piteous, most desperate plea for aid. And you did nothing?
I mean, I kind of have my own stuff going on, man.
Nikolai, that damnable, interminable, abominable sequel really has been laughing at me. Me! This entire time, hasn't it? God has conspired to play this sick, never-ending joke upon me, to starve me, torment me, to mock me endlessly, and you are his last skin bit, his most baffling prank yet. Bravo, Lord! Truly your best work! Why don't you have my cock fall off while you're at it?
I thought you wanted that to happen to your dad.
You really did get our letter, didn't you?
Yes.
And so yet another piece of hope, keeping us afloat, rots off and sinks into the sea.
Why do you hate your father?
What? Who cares about that?
It just seems interesting to me. The bottle? You had this one chance to communicate with the outside world, and you spent it on telling your dad to go eat shit. That says something.
All fathers can go eat shit. My father nations, God the Father time, Father Christmas. I invite all these illustrious fathers to come stand in line before the buffet of my ass and grab a plate.
Is there a room in that line for my father?
You think so little of yours too.
Mine threw me in a pool when I was 7 and laughed while I drowned. That little.
You'll make sure your father has a full plate.
For what it's worth, I wish I could help you.
What can a dream do for the living?
They can keep you from living. That's been my experience.
I dream about planting my feet on solid ground again. That's a good dream. A dream to live for. But not like whatever this is.
I wish I could tell you what this is. I honestly don't know. It's an impossibility that I'm learning to live with.
You wouldn't happen to have any food on you by chance? Or some fresh water?
No,
All I've been thinking about for weeks is the inevitability of my slow, excruciating death. You are a welcome distraction from that. There are days when I envy him. His mermaid hallucination. My poor comrade wakes up every day eager to see her again. I curse the dawn's light for reminding me that I have to suffer through more of this shit.
seems cruel that my dreams would have such a rich and tortured inner life.
Suppose for a moment that you are real, and I am also real. Could you take us with you? Bring us back to wherever you came from?
I don't know. I can't really control what comes with me. But who knows? Maybe I'll wake up tomorrow and I'll find you flopping around in my bathtub.
One can dream.
When you're young, really young, so young that you can't even conceive of the idea of drowning yet, that's when the tide is at its lowest. It pools around your ankles. You can reach down and splash it in your face. All around you is dry land, rolling hills, teeming jungles, mountains that pierce the clouds. You sit in the water, thinking of all the adventures you will have beyond the shoreline. Even the heat-blasted deserts on the horizon seem inviting. and then the water starts to rise. You're older, but not too old yet. You still have your lightness. You're still at the age where you think the water will ebb any day now. You learn to swim in it, floating on your back, doggy paddling, diving down to touch the ground beneath you. Sometimes you swim your way to dry land. You climb those mountains, tan yourself on the cliff sides. When you get back and get in the water, you don't even notice that it's risen up past your navel. The water keeps rising. The water rushes over the land, and soon there is nothing but water. Water everywhere. You're older now, old enough to understand that someday you'll sink. That knowledge makes you heavy. You see people you know, friends, family, acquaintances. Some of them dive below the surface and never come back up. You try diving to touch the floor like you did when you were young. You'll find that the floor is too far down now. You still swim, but it's different now. You don't flail as wildly as you used to. You know that you only have so many breaths and kicks and arm sweeps left in you. You just want to stay afloat. The water rises. Your skin starts to prune. Your edges wear down. The water churns against you, eroding your face like the sides of a cliff. The water gets into your mouth, into your ears, into your eyes. As much as you don't want to believe it, you know that you will drown, probably soon. You hope not. There are moments the water recedes where it offers a respite and you seize the lulls greedily, floating and content. The water is finally going down. You think it will be just as low as it was when you were a child, but it never gets that shallow again. No matter how hard you thrust your feet downwards, they never hit the bottom. The water rises and you wonder why you bother staying afloat. And it happens. If you're lucky, if you're swimming in the right waters, if the currents are kind, you meet someone, another swimmer. The two of you start floating side by side in each other. You find a rock to cling to. The water pulls at the both of you, but you manage to stay together, floating on and on. You start to forget about drowning. You both float as the water rises, rises, rises.
The salt is in your lungs, in your eyes. The salt is in my lungs, in my eyes. But you are in my heart, and I am in yours. Perhaps that will be enough to keep our heads above water.
I had the strangest dream once. There was a woman in the water with legs. And we talked about how much we despised our fathers and... Hans? Hans? Oh, no, 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 no. Hans! Where are you? It better have been the rapture. You hear me, you fucker? They better have rolled out the red carpet and whistled you to the front. They better have dragged you, kicking and screaming away from here. Hans, please come back. Please. I won't blaspheme anymore. No more jokes. Whatever you want, it's yours. I'll write something nice to my father. I'll give you the fattest speech I catch. Anything you want. Please, just don't leave me here. Come home. I can't stand to be alone with my thoughts, Hans. You've heard them all before. Please come back. It will be different. I'll believe in you if that's what you want. Please, come back, Hans. Who will you sing to? Maybe the woman from my dreams took you. Maybe you went back to wherever she was. That'd be nice. But at least one of us made it back to the shore. You're always the better man. If one of us lives through this, it should be you. You fool! You stupid romantic fool! You chased your dreams, didn't you? Gone to marry a mirage at the bottom of the Marianas Trench. I hope you'll be happy living next to a seahorse. I hope you and your damn fish wife have 1,000 little Hans fish babies and they all get eaten by a damn shark! Do you hear me, Hans? You foolish, idiotic selfish bastard. As a wedding gift for you and your mirage. I hope you enjoy it. Black is the color of my true love's hair, of my true love's hair, of my true love's hair. Oh, I love my lover, and where she goes. Yes, I love the waves on where she floats, and I still hope that the time will come where she and I will be as one. When she and I will be as one.
You said it's called a mermaid.
By J.W. Waterhouse. I saw a print of it at the museum after we went on our first date. She reminds me of you.
I can see myself in her. The way she brushes her hair.
You relate to her situation.
She's still alive.
Your LSD fish has outlived everybody in the tank. The other fish in there are third generation now. Your state fair prize is going strong. She really loves the poster too. I swear, I've seen this fish spend hours just staring right at it.
She has good taste for a fish.
She's you, right? Of course she would.
I'm dating you. My taste isn't that good.
Lucky me. Speaking of taste, what did you think of that mix I sent you?
Oh, I loved it. That song at the end gave me goosebumps.
I thought you'd like that one. Nobody will ever sing Black is the Color of My True Love's Hair better than Nina Simone. You ever going to tell me where she came from?
I did tell you once, but I made it sound like a joke.
You told me a lot of things that sounded like jokes.
I'll tell you in the morning.
Leaving already? It's not even midnight.
I never said I was leaving.